Welcome to Inspired by Design, the podcast where we explore the tools, stories, and insights to help you rediscover your authentic self and navigate life with less resistance. I'm Katie Rupert, a former hustle and grind overachiever on a thrilling and messy journey. I love to share what I'm learning and help others in self-discovery using human design. So, if you're seeking a way to move forward, let me be your weekly mindset coach and share stories to inspire you to action towards your unique purpose without the force or burnout.
All right, here's the question. What if you stopped trying to make life happen and you let it come in? And then what if it feels like magic? I have story time for you today. Honestly, it's just story time. I have these moments in my life, and just this week is such a good example. I wanted to just talk about it, where I'm left asking, is it magic? Is it God? Is it the universe? Is it magic fairy dust? Is it alignment? Is it just orchestrated events that I have no control over? I've become, in the last week, just incredibly aware of divine timing, synchronicities, who I am authentically, and just the blessing of knowing my human design gives me so much insight, and I just love it. I'm going to share about my last week, starting with Friday. So last Friday, it was one of those experiences in my life that I couldn't ignore. All the things that were lined up, the way things happened, it did feel orchestrated. It felt like magic. And also, it wasn't like, it wasn't all that big of a deal either. However, I just want to invite you to listen and see if you have some of these kinds of moments in your life. And if they're not happening, I wonder if there's something that is misaligned that you are trying to carry with you that is blocking some of these magical moments. And maybe not. I just a question, right? So let me just take a step back first and talk about July. So it's August now, but July, I had a vacation with my family. I had a conference that was out of town. I had a lot going on, but I felt the energetic shift of it's time. I've been working for the last 3 years, putting together this Inspired by Design business, trying to come up with a framework for how I can help people with human design. Of course, I do my readings. I've done a couple of programs. I've basically had these piecemeal things that I've been doing to learn along the way, right? To find out what works, what doesn't work. And I really didn't even know what it was I wanted to offer. I just know that I've been put in this direction of teach human design, guide people with human design, use your life coaching, use your leadership training, use your energy work, use all of these tools that you have, your yoga, all of these things. They work together. And for me, I have a sense in my body that yes, everything that I know and do and how I can help others absolutely solves this problem of like helping high achieving, especially women, go from overwhelmed and stuck and I can't to feeling alive and thriving and having energy and being clear about their decisions and stepping into the role that they were meant to live. So July, I'm feeling this ability to take some action where pressure was before. And I just went with it. So I worked my little tushy off all July long. Even though I traveled and it was a nice break, I was working with the fire and the momentum of getting clarity around what I really do. And I know that it's still evolving. But I knew I wanted to launch my programs again and just put him back out there with this newfound framework that became clear. And so it was almost as if as soon as I stopped forcing and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to let whatever happens, happen. I stopped trying to force that answer. All of a sudden, these ideas come in, and all of the work that I did was not for nothing, because every little piece that worked or didn't work along these last few years, they got me to July. So July, I'm like, I'm going to launch. It was Mercury retrograde. So I'm like, we're going to launch on the day it goes direct. So I did plan my masterclass, which I know several of you that listen were able to attend that, or hopefully you've watched the replay. I did a bonus episode with a portion of that replay for you. So that's available. But anyway, so I'm putting things out there. I launched, so from July 24th until the 31st, head down, looking, doing stuff. I'm just focused on putting reality around these ideas that I'm ready to move forward on. And it just felt right. Okay. So that leads us to Friday night. It's the 31st of July. I work till about 5. I get my last call to join the program with the early bird bonuses and all of that stuff. And then I realized I have zero plans this weekend. My kids decided to go to the new Spider-Man movie with their dad, and so they were not going to be at home. And it's like, okay, well, I want to maybe go dancing. So what I do my design, my human design is I'm a manifesting generator with Sacral Authority, and Sacral is this attraction in the moment where you're all in. Okay, you'll hear a lot of human design scenarios say, okay, when you get lit up, right? So that's like, my fire's ready, I got to go towards this. Sometimes in a reading, I'll describe this as, you know, that toddler that will do anything to get the toy across the room, even learn how to crawl. And that is what a sacral response is. Like, I need to do that right now. So what I'll do, and what I do in practice, is when I'm needing to respond, a lot of times I'll just walk around until I respond to something. But I have a whiteboard that I'll put things that I want to work on or do, or things that I love. I have a list of things that I just love to do. So I'm getting this list and I'm going, dancing? Yeah, I totally want to go dancing. I had the energy to go dancing. I'm like, I don't feel the urge to work. I don't feel the urge to do anything else. I feel complete with the efforts, and I feel really proud of myself, and I took those moments to celebrate. I'm like, yeah, I'm so excited these programs are out there, and now it's just whoever's the right person to come, they'll come. So I was at that place where, just like this podcast, right? It's like, even if nobody buys the programs, I'm very proud of what I created. And as a manifesting generator with a sacral authority, that all-in response, it gave me a lot of satisfaction. And that is my alignment cue. Whenever I feel satisfaction and peace, I know I'm on the right track. So I'm sitting here on this Friday night and I'm looking at my things that I love to do, and I'm like, wow, I can't wait to go. So I'm looking around for dancing, because that was a yes. Couldn't find any dancing. So I was like, okay, well, what else? Number 2 always is like karaoke. All right, let me go sing. And so I started looking around. What could I do? I'm on Facebook, just trying to like, what's available tonight, right? And I reached out to some of my dance friends, and I started looking at the different places I know do karaoke. Well, I didn't find anything right away, but what I did scroll across was this Ben Peters. He's a musician local to me. And by the way, look up Ben Peters. You can find him where I follow him, so you can find him. But he's a musician, a great guitar, great singer, does really good acoustic stuff, all kinds of music that I love. So I've been following him on Facebook now for probably close to a year. And I had at least 2 or 3 times in the last year where I was like, I'm going to go see him. And then it didn't work for whatever reason. So I scroll across something that says August dates. And I was like, oh, cool. I wonder if he's playing anywhere tonight. Maybe I could hit up watching him sing and find karaoke. So I go to his profile and I'm like snooping around looking for stuff, and I see his July dates. It's July 31st. Sure enough, there was a location listed, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna see where this is. I already knew it was a no to going downtown because I'm running through all the things that I could do with my free time, and it was a no for going downtown. So I was like, well, let's just see where he's playing. So I Googled the place that he's going, and it's 5 miles away from where my apartment. So I'm like, slam dunk. I'm going to see Ben play, and then we'll figure it out from there. So in the moment, I'm like, heck yes, I'm going to go see this guy play. It's going to be fun. I didn't even change my clothes. I just wore what I was wearing. I put on lipstick, grabbed my purse. I did grab my dancing shoes and threw those in the car too. And I just 5 miles up the road, and I walk in. It was like a restaurant. So I go to check in or whatever, get a table, and they're like, is it just you? I was like, yep, I just need it for one. They're like, well, do you want to sit at the bar? I was like, sure, I'll sit at the bar. I'm not a drinker, and I won't drink if I'm alone. So I go to the bar, and the bartender's like, what can I get you? And I'm looking at their cocktails and stuff. I'm like, I definitely don't want to drink. And that was a no, right? So in the moment, I'm like, no, I'm not going to drink while I'm alone because I don't know how long I'm going to be here. And I definitely don't want to be under the influence or have an open drink or whatever. So I was like, hey, do you have a root beer? and so I got a root beer that I could sip on. But I had put a chair between me and these 2 gals that were sitting at the bar as well. And Ben is up there playing, and I'm like, cool, I'm so excited to get to see him. And I put my phone away, I'm sipping on my root beer, and I look over the profile of the gal that was a seat away from me, and I was like, I feel like I know this chick. And I was like, I feel like I've had a conversation with her before. I'm like, why not? I was like, hey, hi, I'm trying to get their attention. And I was like, I think I know you. I can't place your name, but my name's Katie. And she's like, oh, I'm Beth. And she goes, oh, Katie, she recognized me. I had gone and done, of all seats, right? Like I had worked with her to do like a yoga shavasana meditation for her employees. And so I had real conversations with her. I'd worked with her. We had done the yoga meditation and stuff for her work. By the way, her name's Beth, and she runs Skin Bee. So it's like Skin and then BE. That is a local med spa. They do some really cool stuff, and she's a really great gal. So if you are ever looking for that, please go and find her company and see if it's a good fit for you. So anyway, I am talking to these girls, and we just have like the best little conversation, right? It's a great time. We're talking about human design. We're talking about astrology. Her cousin that was with her is all lit up, and I'm like, these girls have to be generators, right? Like I'm like, this is so fun. We're all 3 of these, and we're beautiful women, by the way, but all 3 of us are just chatting, and we're having fun, and we're talking, just like really mentally stimulating, soul fulfilling conversation. Okay. And we started talking about the guy playing, and I was like, yeah, his name's Ben. I've been following him for a little while online. I've been trying to get to see him for a while. And they're like, he's really good. I think I'm going to go try to request a song. So this is the gal's friend and our cousin, and she goes and she's talking up front and trying to figure out like he had somewhere you could tip him, and they were wanting to request a song. And one of his friends is like, I'm his manager, I'll tell him what to play or whatever. We're just having fun, bantering. And so with that happening, the 3 of us were chatting. I guess we had gathered some attention. And so between songs, Ben, up at the microphone, is like, hi, Katie. And I was like, oh my gosh, he recognizes me. So I mean, I'm not all that shocked. It was a pretty small venue. It wasn't anything crazy, but I was really surprised that he recognized my face and called me out. And I was like, oh my gosh. And the girls look at me like, how do you know? And I was saying, well, let's go up and be his groupies or whatever. So he was going to play the song she had requested. So we went up to the front table and we're singing along and we're having a good time. And we get to talking about, oh, I love to sing. And like, you should go up and sing. And I was like, yeah, I would love to. And they're like, hey, you should let her sing. And so like this whole thing's happen and Ben looks at me, he's like, can you actually sing? And I was like, yeah, I can sing. And so we sing from a distance or whatever. And eventually he's like, yeah, come on up here, let's sing a song. And I was like, really? So these girls are egging me on. I go up and I sing a song. And they're like, what else do you know? So I think we sang 2 or 3 songs. And I got to hold the mic. You know what I mean? Like, that's just like, for this gal, if I'm going to be taking my like generators are here to do stuff. They're here to do stuff that they freaking love. They are meant to have fun and feel good when they're doing stuff. All right. So I'm at my top now. I'm singing, I'm having fun. I have new friends. Like, these are all things that are always a heck yes, I'm in kind of response from me. And that's my authority too. If I feel good and am all in, then that is a decision that is not meant to be second guessed. So that's my human design. So I had such a great time. And then he's packing up and I'm chatting with the girls. They're ready to go home. So good as me. We exchange numbers. And then this musician comes back in. I was like, hey, I'm serious. I would love to do a duo with you. His person that's the gal that sings with him lives far away now. And so he was like, do you want to consider that? I was like, yeah. So this opportunity to do something that is absolutely like a energy fuel, amazing. I like, it would be, I couldn't think up anything better than getting to sing with a musician with a microphone. All right. And do songs that I love and do that all over town. That just sounds amazing to me. So this opportunity happens and I am on a high. Okay. Mind you, I don't do substances, right? Like, I wasn't drinking. I was just like so full of life and so excited. I'm like, I can't go home now. It's only like 8:30, by the way. So I was like, okay, it's time for that karaoke. Plus, karaoke bars don't usually open till like 9 o'clock. So I'm going to find karaoke. I go to the Facebook group that's like karaoke and I search for tonight, and there was one in St. Peter's. Like, that's the one I'm going to because it's only 15 minutes away and I'm ready to sing right now. I was real excited. Okay. So I get into this karaoke place and the night just keeps getting, it's not weird, but it's like weird in the best way. Right. So I walk into this karaoke place and like, ooh, this place, it's a totally different vibe. But I liked the setup, so I'm looking for where I can find a slip of paper or how do I tell them what song I want to sing. So I'm waiting in line to talk to the DJ that's doing the karaoke, and behind this guy who turns around, I was like, hey, are you giving him a song? Is that how you do it? And he's like, I don't know, I haven't just walked in. I was like, oh, okay, me too. And so I said, what are you going to sing? And he's like, this is what I'm thinking. What are you going to sing? And I was like, oh, cool. Well, I do a lot of duets too. Do you like want to do a duet? And he's like, can you sing? And I was like, yeah, I can sing. And so we pick out a duet and I put my song in. My favorite song to sing is Black Velvet. That's my favorite. So I put that song in, and then we put in like a Lady A song. And this guy, his name was Travis, I think. So anyway, I put my songs in, and then I'm going to need somewhere to sit, right? I got drink a glass of water from the bar, and I'm waiting for my turn. And the only open seat was this forward top, and there was a man on the opposite side, seemed innocent enough. I was like, hey, can I sit here across the table? He was like, sure. We talked for a little bit. Turns out this guy did yoga teacher training. And then the person that I just signed up to do a duet with comes over, sits down. This was his table. So we're talking and connecting and, just, I guess I'm sharing this part of the story because it's like one of the things that is always a yes for me is meeting new friends. I love learning people's stories. So I learned about the yoga history, their work stuff, what's going on with his daughter and marriage and all of this stuff, right? So I'm just sipping on my water, waiting for my turn, and I don't know these men, so I'm very aware that I'm not going to leave a drink out. So I had this group of women, and the table is a 4 top, but there was at least 6 or 7 women right behind me. And I turned and I was like, "Hey girls, how's it going? I'm going to be singing soon. I was wondering if I could leave my water here at your table." And they're like, "Oh my gosh, girl, I can't believe you asked that, because I've been watching your drink since you got here and noticed that you were alone." So they're like, "Yeah, we've got you. We got your back if these boys, give you trouble or whatever." So it was really sweet, right? Like, I love that community feel. So I end up leaving my drink, and at some point, one of the gals comes across and says, "Hey, are you Katie?" I was like, "What?" Like, oh, I get recognized 2 places in one night. So anyway, she's like, "You are my Pampered Chef consultant." I was like, "Oh my gosh, tell me your name." And we're like reconnecting. And when she told me her name, I was like, "I remember we did the in-person party." Anyway, so we're catching up, and we start talking about kind of where we are in life. And turns out she went through a divorce, and I told her kind of where I was, and she and I connected on all of that, and it was just such a neat connection. Turns out this big group of girls is part of the Diamonds in the Rough, RUFF, like volunteer organization to help, the puppies and kitties. And cute name too, Diamonds in the Rough. You got to check it out and go donate to them or whatever. So I go, "Hey, Pampered Chef is doing double donations for fundraisers. We should do a fundraiser for your organization." They're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay." So it's like this opportunity, right? Like, I'm singing, I'm doing what I love, I'm lighting up, and that attracts people to me. And it's true of every generator. When you're doing something that you love, you are like a magnet. Manifesting generators even more so when they're following what they love and having variety. So, and when they're following doing what they love, they have variety with it, and they are not holding themselves back, right? They're being authentic. So I sing, I have a great time, we catch up, we exchange numbers. All these opportunities are just flooded my way. I go home, not even tired, like I'm exhausted, but I was like so lit up. The next day, again, I had a free day. I sat down, I reflected on that night, and I was like, that is amazing. Like, the opportunities, I got all excited chatting with this Ben Peters, who I'm going to get to sing with, hopefully, and just thinking about my life is working out for me. My life is working out. I was lit up by the work I was doing. I was lit up by getting to sing and meet new friends. I was lit up by getting old connections from past lifetimes, right? Like when I was doing a ton of Pampered Chef parties, like in-person stuff. And so as I reflected on that, it's like, I can't stop, won't stop. So I go out to karaoke again. And I was alone. I didn't have any like friends that were like up for going out or whatever. So I just go. I found another place that was playing on Saturday night. And here's a funny thing. This place that I picked, it is not. They never do karaoke on Saturday nights. It was just like on their Facebook page. It said, "We usually do Sundays and Thursdays, but our band cancels and we're going to do Saturday night." So I go, I sign up. I'm sitting alone, and I'm content to sit alone. I sing a song. And then after I sing my first song, Black Velvet, of course, because that's my favorite song right now. And this man comes up to me, and he goes, "Hey, I want you to know, I'm not hitting on you. My girlfriend's right here. Her name's, whatever." And he's like, "You sounded great. I'm always looking for a duet partner. Would you like to sing a song?" And then he like proceeds to give me this spreadsheet of songs to choose from. And one of the songs that I can never find anyone that even knows the song was on there. I was like, I want to do that one. I've never met anyone that knows that to sing that song. So we sing the song. And then he goes, hey, do you want to come sit with us? So I get to make new friends. All right. So I sat with this, and it turns out his other friend that was there, fantastic singer, and he did musicals growing up and stuff. So like we connected, and we ended up singing another song, and I just had like the time of my life. Just lit up, like so fun. And I go home just totally happy. And Sunday I sit down and I was like, okay, I'm still on this fuel of energy. I don't know what to do with it, because what happens to generators when they get lit up, their energy grows, and it's sustainable energy. It doesn't deplete until you start burning yourself out with doing things that you feel obligated or you should do, or that you don't want to do, or that your body's saying no and you push forward. That's what drains a generator. So I'm all in. I'm having energy. And I was like, you know what? I feel compelled to share my experience. So I was like, well, how could I do this? And the idea that I came up with was, I had done some recordings of me singing, pretty much only because this Ben, the night before, or 2 nights before, he was like, I want you to learn this song or whatever, and we're going to do like a practice session. And I was like, I want to hear how I actually sound on these and see like where I need to improve or whatever. So I'm recording myself at the karaoke that next night. And I was like, I will go see if there's like a couple clips that I really love of the song. And I used my podcast software, which I've been waiting for enough energy to learn how to edit videos for like, I mean, we're going on 1.5 years of this podcast. So you just get what you get with the video editing, because I don't do that. I do some of the voice editing, right? So I'm like, you know what? Let's see how I can do this. So I just played. It took me like 2 or 3 hours to come up with this little reel. And I had all the energy for it. I was excited. I was like, let's do this song first and that song first. Anyway, I put together this like 3-minute video of me singing. I was like, do I really want to post this? Do I really want to post this? Is that going to be like a attention grab? I don't know. It's like, you know what? I am a 5'2", and I'm so lit up as a generator. I'm just going to do it because I know that a 2 is someone who is naturally talented. I know I'm a good singer. I mean, I'm not the best singer, but I'm a great singer. You know what I mean? Like I like singing, and it shows. My presence, it shows, right? So I know that this is something I can call myself up to, is like, this is something that I can do well enough that if someone decides to listen to this 3-minute reel, they'll at least be entertained, you know what I mean? Especially if they like the songs. So I decided I'm going to post this, and I wrote like, whatever I wrote about it. And it was kind of this culmination of these amazing moments that I had over the last 3 days. Enough that's like, it's like a reward. It's like a reward getting to experience that weekend. And it just dawned on me, like, that is how we all are meant to live. We have the potential to feel like I did that weekend at all times. Now, in reality, are we 100% going to feel that good all the time? No. But once you experience living by your design, and you feel the ease, and you feel the flow, and you feel the way that you were designed to be, like God is so intelligently designing humans, right? Like, just I love it. I love it. Okay, back to the story. So I post this reel, and then because I didn't want to get obsessed with like, is anyone gonna like it or whatever, I put my phone in the other room. And then I just went about my day. I'm like, I'm not going to check my stuff for at least a couple hours, because I don't want to be attached to, do people like this or not. I'm doing this because I'm a 2, and I'm stepping out to show what I do well. So that is part of the role that I'm designed to live in this life. And if I'm going to tell other people to live by their design profile, then I'm going to do it too. And this is one way I can do it. So walk away. And when I did end up looking at the response to this reel, I of course, people were nice, I got likes or whatever. But the thing that stuck out to me that blew my ever-loving mind was how many people said, "Where have you been hiding this talent? Hidden talent. I had no idea you could sing. Why have you been hiding this?" Like, multiple times. I was just absolutely floored that people didn't know I sang, because singing is such a huge, crucial part of my life. Not only in my upbringing and, when I was young, I did like competitions, and it was just like everything to me. Singing was everything to me for so much of my life, especially when I was younger. And, I sang on the praise team and in the worship band and solos at church and, all these things. And the last few years I've been, work and family, and I sing in the car, I sing at karaoke, but I that's not where I've put a lot of emphasis. And so I just realized, like, wow, there's probably more things that if I'm going to step into living by my design, singing needs to be out there. I need to call myself to, like, hey, if I have talent, I'm going to share it. So that really hit home with me. And all throughout this week, how when you post a reel or whatever, like, people will find it later. And so throughout this last week, I've had a comment here or there, same kind of thing, great voice, whatever. And it's just solidified to me that following my design is not just for work and being productive, but also for me as a 5'2". Yeah, I'm here to solve problems and share my leadership with others and teach. Like, that's my 5. But the 2 cannot be excluded. It sincerely must be willing to dance like no one's watching and sing like no one can hear. And I don't remember what the other part of the saying is. And I'm ready. I'm like, it just solidified. I didn't know that I wasn't doing that. Now, the other piece of being a 2 is called hermiting, not hiding, but hermiting away. It's like refuel, being out of other people's energies. So on Sunday night, I was having this urge. I was like, I want to go back out and do karaoke again. But there was something in me that was like, you have had so much fulfillment. What if you stayed home and basked in the energy of what you already have? And I decided to intentionally be a hermiting 2 on Sunday night and just had my night to myself and journaled and contemplated and just enjoyed the night. And it was the right decision for me. I got to bed earlier. So let's wrap up this story time. If you are sitting here thinking, what a fun story. Maybe you thought, yeah, that could happen to Katie, but not me. And, maybe you relate to it or not, because I know singing and being in front of people is like the opposite of exciting for almost everyone else that I've met. But here's what I do know. I know that I couldn't have orchestrated any of that. I couldn't have orchestrated, that Beth recognizing or being at the bar right next to me. I couldn't have orchestrated Ben recognizing me and that getting eventually an invite to sing, meeting the connections through the karaoke place. If I wouldn't have been excited and fueled up from the first stop, I may not have gone to karaoke and then gotten to connect with my past client from Pampered Chef. If I wouldn't have been so fueled up, I may not have gone to karaoke the second night where I met, new friends, and I have new Facebook friends now. This is so exciting, and practicing these songs and really having a real life example of a practical and simple way that in everyday life I can live my design as a manifesting generator who's meant to make decisions in the moment and follow her next right step to stay energetic and fueled, and having opportunities and people be attracted so that they come to her instead of me forcing or pushing towards them, and showing up not afraid to share talent or what I do well and show it off. I couldn't have planned any of that. And yet I can participate in it. Being open, noticing my alignment. And for me, noticing alignment is as simple as asking myself, is this satisfying? Was I satisfied doing that? Do I have more energy or less energy? Where's my sense of peace? Am I, and then my misalignment themes, when I'm feeling frustrated, that's a timeout. When I'm feeling irritable and angry, a timeout. Those are my misalignment things. I'm not living by my design. I'm trying to force something. So a takeaway that you might decide on today is that when I say live by your design, I'm not saying memorize what your chart says and then be a robot to it. But you want to notice like what your strategy is, what your authority, that's your decision maker, is. For me, I noticed my response. I followed the energy. I had some variety with it. I let myself be seen. I paid attention to what happened and adjusted accordingly. That weekend is a really good example of what is possible when you start with integration. Integration is just that embodiment of who you are meant to be. If my life sounds amazing, first of all, it is. And I'm just like tipping the surface of integrating and embodying my design. I've been doing it now for a couple of years, but not at 100%. Luckily, sometimes at 20% or 30% of what I could be doing. But if my story sounds like that's really cool, I wish stuff like that would happen to me, I want you to know it can. You may not have the same strategy and authority that I do, but that's why you would learn your human design, right? I just launched these programs. I'm so proud of them. I know that it can help you create experiences where you get to feel the way I felt. Now, I'm not saying it's going to create that you go sing on stage because y'all will run away, right? But whatever that is for you, whatever it is that makes you feel alive and aligned and feel so good about your life and have a fueling energy that's ready for the next step, that you can face any adversity, that you are your core self, your aligned, embodied self, in spite of any circumstances or troubles or hardship that come your way. If that is something that you want, that's why you would consider getting an integrated human design session with me, or joining the monthly coaching circle where you get to actually just like practice it and talk about practicing it with other people. Or maybe if you already know about your human design, you're like, I don't even know what to do with it, it's just information. Well, then maybe the lighten your load journey is perfect for you. It's just 90 days working directly with me, individually, in groups, and figuring out like, what does it look like for you to embody who you were designed to be? And the results being, I'm magnetic, I have energy, I'm finding more ease, or if you're a generator, satisfaction, or if you are success, or whatever your alignment theme is. I'm not indecisive anymore. Whatever it is that you're looking for, if one of those big three things, and here they are in a nutshell. How do you use your energy aligned? How you make decisions that you're not going to second guess, that you feel really clear and confident about without anyone else? Or if you just feel like a fraud, your human design profile can help you move from imposter syndrome to fully embracing who you are, and then you're attracting those right opportunities for you and feeling alive, like you stepped into the role you were meant to play. If those things are things that would help you with your life, maybe that is part of your next step or something that you put your sights on. I went out last weekend as a woman who was like, okay, I'm going out alone. I don't really know anybody. But I went out looking with possibility, not through fear, not through apprehension or anything. It was just like, my body says, let's do it. So let's just be curious and have some fun with it. By the end of the night, I had a new group of women, opportunities. I exchanged numbers with many people. I felt seen. I felt connected. I had opportunities. And I don't even know. Maybe it is magic. Maybe it's divine timing, right? Maybe it's being aligned. Or maybe it's simply like what happens when we stop trying so hard to make and force life to be something or make it happen and just let ourselves live it out loud on purpose. Why don't we give that a try?
Thanks for tuning in to Inspired by Design with Katie Rupert. If today's episode sparked something in you, I'd love to hear about it. Share your takeaways, subscribe, or even leave a review to help others find the show. For more tools and insights, visit my free Facebook group. And until next time, keep embracing exactly who you are and move forward one inspired action at a time.